Second question also we asked Sheikh Hasina was on the upcoming elections. We asked about the Awami League being barred from contesting and asked her for her views on the upcoming elections under the interim government and whether they're generally democratic and inclusive. Now, our exact answer was that these elections make a mockery of democracy. An unelected government for which no Bangladeshi has ever cast a single vote has given itself the authority to amend our country's legislation and ban the party that has been elected 9 times by the people. Any election that excludes the country's oldest party and disenfranchises millions of its own people cannot be considered democratic or inclusive. Historically, when Bangladeshis cannot vote for the party of their choosing, they do not vote at all. This is not governance, it's the elimination of political opposition by decree. It appears that genuine independent candidates have been barred from participating, while legitimate parties like the Workers' Party have withdrawn in the face of political persecution. Police are arresting anyone who attempts to purchase nomination forms unless they belong to BNP or Jamaat-aligned groups, while ordinary voters are being intimidated on their doorsteps. Yunus would rather ban us than face us at the ballot box because he knows that when Bangladeshis are given a genuine choice, they vote for us. Whatever government emerges from this exercise will face an immediate crisis of authority because it cannot claim to represent the people. Brian Thomas is joining us for more on this story. Brian, what has Sheikh Hasina said on our party being barred from these elections and on whether this is a democratic exercise at all or a sham?
Well, Uday, clearly Sheikh Hasina has made it very clear and said that these elections raise serious questions about democratic legitimacy. Not only that, she clearly stated that an unelected administration, one that has never received a public mandate, has assumed the authority to amend laws and prohibit a party that has been elected repeatedly by the people of Bangladesh. Not only that, she mentioned and made it very clear that an election that excludes the country's oldest and one of its most popular political parties cannot be described as inclusive, and said that when citizens are denied the opportunity to vote for the party of their choice, participation itself becomes compromise, and said she made it very clear and said that this is not democracy, it is the systematic removal of political opposition. And not only that, she mentioned reports and said that it suggested that independent candidates does face barriers while certain political groups operate without obstruction. There are allegations of arrest linked to nomination process and voter intimidation at the grassroots level, and said that if a government emerges from a process that is perceived as exclusionary, it will struggle with legitimacy from day one, and said that true democracy demands competition, fairness, and public trust, all of which appear deeply strained in the current environment. Uday.
Joyita Basu is also with us live now, editor of the Sunday Guardian. Joyita, Sheikh Hasina, of course, in this global exclusive, speaking on a variety of issues, speaking frankly, honestly, and directly. Now, what do you make of what she said on this upcoming elections and her party's lack of participation in it?
Well, Uday, obviously, this is not democracy. You know, how can you, just ban mainstream, the most important party in the country? Even if you say that, they do not have, they carried out massacres and all that. Let the people decide. Let the people decide whether they should be returning to power or not. The fact of the matter is that this is not how democracy functions, that only you kind of pre-design the elections in a manner that either this party of your choice or that party of your choice will be coming to power. You do not any inconvenient results to be thrown up. But that is what exactly how democracies are. Democracy tends to throw up results that are inconvenient to certain groups or subgroups or certain interests, and that is how it should be. But the thing is that if a particular section of the political space, they decide that we are the ones, and it is a fact that they are in power, that is in an illegitimate manner. Sheikh Hasina never resigned. She was made to flee. And what constitution are these government, this Yunus government that is there, the caretaker government, in which constitution is there the provision that when Hasina had to flee, in which constitution was the provision that Yunus would continue to be there for 2 years and more? All right, actually almost 2 years now. And this election is a sham election. All right, so it is but natural that she's going to speak of these things. Hasina may have been painted in the most horrendous colors, But it's all, let us not forget the fact that there are lots of supporters of the Awami League, that there are lots of political workers of the Awami League who are being persecuted and threatened, and who are actually being killed. And so you see, there is no denying that this election does not have any any democratic legitimacy. I mean, frankly, tomorrow they may, and if you're thinking in terms of BNP boycotting one election, I think they were, Hasina never banned them from participating. This is the first time that something like this has happened. I mean, what sort of a government is this that they ban the main political party, mainstream main political party from participating in the election?